Good to see everyone. Good morning. So good to see everyone again. And I believe you discussed or you had this Murli Friday and Saturday. And so we're going to churn. We're going to discuss some of the major points, what Baba shared, and how we can apply, how we can practice in our life. And really reading this whole Murli, 31st December 1990, I believe I was there. I believe I was there sitting in front of Baba at this time. And first, in a nutshell, what really Baba was saying is really to transform labor into pleasure. It's not about changing the calendar. It's not just having a physical new year, but Baba's talking in our internal world, in our inner world, reducing the percentage of labor and just enjoying time, enjoying the moment, enjoying life. And going through the points that Baba mentioned in this Murli, everyone, just in the first paragraph, Baba was saying, everyone has one thought. And when I was reading, I said, really, Baba? So you were reading our mind when you said everyone have one thought, to experience closeness with Baba while being physically far. And Baba, gave us 3 types of congratulations. Baba always speaks in 3 forms, as a father, as a teacher, and as a Sadguru. Baba gives different messages. And so Baba says, as a father, Baba's very proud, and Baba's congratulating. Baba says it's a new year. But also at the same time, Baba saw there's a new enthusiasm to do something. And then, of course, Baba also said, congratulations for the new life in Confluence Age. Baba is super happy after 5,000 years you get to meet us. And then as a teacher, Baba is telling us, well done. It's like tapping our shoulder and saying, no, you can do it. Go ahead, you can do it. It's like as if Baba is encouraging us, go ahead, I'm with you. I'll teach you, I'll guide you, just move forward. And then as a Sadguru, Baba is giving us blessings to create more and more good karmas. Not just good karmas, but elevated karmas, elevated actions. So as Baba being in playing 3 roles in our lives. So these were the congratulations, you can say, or Baba's beautiful message for us for this new year. And then Baba is emphasizing, Baba says, for a Brahmin, every life, every moment of Confluence Age should be experienced as pleasure, whilst facing whatever, whether it's an inner battle or whether it's an external battle. But even then, Baba says a Brahmin's mindset is really, Baba's asking us to check how much have my mindset transformed from being a lokik into a Brahmin. And Baba says the Brahmin's mindset is that however chaotic a situation could be, but they are able to see a hidden benefit. Whether the benefit is very much visible right now, or the benefit was going to be visible sometime later, but I'm able to identify and see, okay, this situation may seem negative, but it's bringing me a positive message. So that's the Brahmin mindset. And then there were a few pointers Baba asked us to check. What kind of newness will I bring in me? So first, Baba touched on the thought level. Baba asked this question that how much am I serving through my good wishes and pure feelings? So Baba says to serve in a form of giving blessing to others. Baba says this is also a very big speciality for a Brahmin, to wish well and to even not just wish as in just, being verbally, in our mind, but have that feeling, wish, a well-wisher feeling for someone. Baba says that is the first newness that I should bring in my thought level. And then the second, on my words, the level of words, Baba says, am I speaking sweetly? And are my words easy? And are my words reflecting contentment? And then on an action level, Baba says, how much I'm giving them an experience of attainment, meaning giving them happiness and power. And there is a very beautiful line I quoted from Baba's Murli. This line, it said, let the seed of karma be filled with the tree of attainment. And it's such a powerful, powerful sentence. I was just churning. There were 3 deep sentences in today's Murli that I took it upon for churning. And this sentence, let the seed of karma be filled with the tree of attainment. So let's just, go a little deep, peeling the layer. In the physical world, when we plant a seed, it may take some time for the tree to grow and then to give fruit. It could be in few weeks or months or years. But Baba says for a yogi, the fruit should not take time. The fruit and the action should be at the same time, simultaneously. So what Baba meant by that is that I can only experience the fruit while I'm acting when I am in remembrance. When I act while being in remembrance, then there is instant peace. There is instant lightness. And this lightness is very much instantly visible on the face. The tone I use, my actions are not going to be restless or rapid. There is a cheer on the face. So this means Baba is saying the fruit and the action are happening simultaneously, not one after the other. And then Baba says the thought is actually the seed. When I act, Baba is asking, what is really my awareness at that time? A single pure action that is performed in accurate remembrance will bring multiple benefits at the same time. Performing the action as a king will bring the benefit simultaneously. But if I perform the action as a beggar, then I'm always looking for a result. I'm looking for a result that I want. I'm not allowing the result to show itself to me. So Baba says, notice how light and effortless your karma will become when you do your karma in my remembrance. So that is such a beautiful, so much depth in that one line, in that one sentence. Then after that, Baba spoke about, so we spoke about the thoughts, we covered the words, we covered the actions. Then Baba is covering the relationships and connections. Baba says, be a master bestower. Give others what they need, not what I want to give, but what they need. Do they need courage? at that time? Do they need power or peace or enthusiasm? Baba says, this is another phrase Baba said, they should find an easy method to experience themselves to be growing in their experience. That means when they are in connection with me, when they are, whether being in my company or coming to me and sharing their issues, trying to find an answer, trying to find a way, how can I resolve this? Or just wanted to share their feelings, that's it. Just wanted to share their feelings, want to just vent out the steam. Baba says, when they are with me, what are they bringing back? Do they feel light? Do they feel that, okay, now they know what they need to do? Did they find the answer? Or were they able to shift their mindset of how they see the person or the situation? These are all answers. These are all attainments that they are getting from me. And they will only be able to attain this, experience this, when I am not emotionally involved in their pain. When they come to me for help, am I being emotionally traveling with them in their story at that time when they're sharing? If I become emotionally involved, I cannot guide them. But if I can take a step back as a third party, I'm listening to whatever that they are sharing, then I can see what really the soul is yearning. It could be very subtle. Am I able to see that subtlety? Right? So if I'm able to see that subtlety, then I can give what the soul needs, not what they want to hear, but what the soul deeply needs. And Baba said, the moment the soul feels, okay, now I understand. Now I know what I need to do. Baba says, then they will grow in their experience. So means that they don't see themselves as a victim of a situation, but they say, okay, now that this has happened to me, I guess the situation is asking, me to be maybe a little more patient. Okay, I get it now, what I need to do. So that's something that Baba says in relationship and connection, being a bestower is not always physical, but more than physical, a bestower is someone who's able to help them vibrationally, able to ease their emotions. And then there's another beautiful sentence Baba says, having Shiv Baba's nature as my nature and Brahma Baba's sanskaras as my sanskaras. Now, what is the difference Baba is saying here? Shiv Baba's nature is my nature means I'm also a bestower like Shiv Baba, to uplift like Shiv Baba. And Brahma Baba's sanskaras as my sanskaras means the sweetness, the easiness. That means seeing how Brahma Baba, how he walked, how he moved, how he responded to situations without being sensitive or without feeling, cooked up, as we say, without being affected. How did he deal with obstacles? Learning that art from Brahma Baba and then making that sanskara as mine. So meaning when I change my inner world to match Baba, then my outer world is automatically transformed. I don't need to transform my outer world. Automatically, everything falls into pieces like a puzzle. So then Baba said, stay in pleasure. Baba's reminding two words. One, a dot. And of course, Baba didn't really then expand on this, but really when Baba says dot, means to past or to trivial matters. Full stop. Let's not think further. The moment I see my mind going into a spiral, change the topic. Divert. Say, okay, I'm not going to think about this. Divert. So a dot. Dot to that topic. Dot to that subject. And then not. N-O-T. That means not allowing Maya into my intellect. Really, our mind is in the mercy of our intellect, right? If the intellect is really powerful, it can dictate what it wants the mind to think. So Baba says, when any upheavals come, again, this is Brahma Baba's sanskara, when any upheavals come, think it's nothing new. Meaning that the solution of the situation is already in me. I am not trying to figure out things. I just have to allow the solutions to emerge. When I sit in front of Baba and I'm not thinking about problems, and I said, okay, Baba, show me what I need to do. I know the answers are in me. I just need you to guide me. So if I stay in that calm state, knowing I don't have to figure out, I just allow it to emerge, Baba says, then really the idea of nothing new is going to be so deep for me. And then Baba says the world, munj gaye, they are in confusion. Why? Because the world is like a warrior. Baba says a warrior is always in confusion. Is because they have so many choices and then they're thinking, what if this, what if that, what if this? But Baba says a Brahmin is always in moj, means pleasure. So Baba says, do I want to join the world in being a warrior, or do I want to stand alone and be a Brahmin? And this really means, what's this muj and moj? It's really to transform bad or negative into something good. Nothing is bad for a Brahmin. This is huge when Baba specified this. Nothing is bad for a Brahmin because they have learned to see the benefit. So we can never define anything as bad, externally define, talk about it, or even internally to think that this is bad, because I have the art of seeing what good can come out of this. Maybe I just need to keep patience to see it. But I believe that something good is going to emerge. So Baba says, then you can be happy and you can make others happy. Baba says, also looking at others as souls. Then this is another sentence Baba says, when I look at others as souls, that is when I can be benevolent to them. So being a benevolent is not about a choice. I choose who and when to be benevolent. Baba says, if I have the art of seeing everyone as a soul, means seeing a bigger picture rather than seeing their weaknesses or their tendencies or a certain relationship that I have with them, but just seeing them as a soul means taking a step back, seeing a bigger picture. Baba says, then I can truly be merciful, benevolent with them. And then after that, Baba went on saying, whatever task I do, Baba says, I need to have practical experience, faith, and intoxication. This is interesting. Whatever task I do, I need to have practical experience, faith, and intoxication. And then Baba connected sentence. Immediately, the next sentence that Baba connected with, Baba said, the more I remain set on the seat of a master almighty authority, then the more all the powers will follow my orders. Again, this is such it is a very usual statement, Baba says, but there is so much depth. This is another statement I was doing some contemplation about. And just a few pointers came, how do I sit on the seat of Master Almighty Authority? What does it mean to sit? And what Baba is telling, to sit on the seat means Baba is really talking about awareness. Do I even realize the power I carry within me? Do I even realize, consciously being aware who I really belong to? Not just saying it as a statement, but to the core, to my core. Do I even realize who has my back? Who is my supporter? Who is telling me what I need to do? So to consciously believe, Baba says, then how to be Master Almighty Authority? I just, again, this is a churning on my behalf. I'm sure all of you may have your own churning, which you can definitely share after this. So I just found 4 pointers, how to be a master. So the first pointer, shifting from trying to belonging. Trying means when Baba's out of the picture, sometimes, yes, before the problem, we may remember Baba, well, what happened after that? Does pressure build up in me? Does ego take over me? Or does fear take over me? Then that is again, it's a trying mode. Trying to figure out what needs to be done or trying to fix a damage that I've made. So that's a trying. But converting trying into belonging, it means connecting with Baba deeply and allowing his strength to flow in me. And again, connection is not done during the problem. Connection is done prior to the problem. So having a consistent connection with Baba throughout the day, the moments I have, Baba says, having that the deep connection creates a sense of belonging. And a sense of belonging draws in the power from Baba. So this is really converting trying into belonging. And then the second pointer can be, let me practice ordering my mind to change the topic instantly. When I see my mind is becoming more and more negative, the moment the spiral starts, change the topic. See, or talking to my own self. No, let me not see it that way. It's like self-encouragement, self-talk. So then it saves time to fix the damage after going into spiral, right? And number 3, before speaking to anyone or before doing any task, take 10 seconds, just bring the focus as a soul. It's like a detachment factor as a soul. And then I, this soul, am talking to another soul, or I, this soul, is doing this task. This is a constant practice because to make this practice a habit is not overnight. Constant, taking the 10 seconds, at least 10 seconds before doing anything. It's a deep practice. And then number 4, in any difficult situation, don't panic. I have a lot of examples for this, which if time permits, I would share. In any difficult situation, don't panic. If someone is insulting me, instead of focusing on their words and their tones and their accusations, then That time, bring Baba into the picture and look at the soul on the forehead. And I'm not talking about all this, but it's just take out my focus from there. Say, Baba, come into the picture. And then looking at that soul, and just while the soul is busy doing, boom, 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 bombarding, at the same time, let me just be busy in giving that soul whatever. Maybe, all their accusations is boiling down that maybe the soul didn't get the respect that they wanted, didn't get the validation that they wanted, whatever. Try to find, read between the lines, the underlying message of that soul. And so that's the situation could be teaching tolerance to me, right? Or if a situation is getting chaotic, maybe, people around me are losing their heads. Maybe arguments could be, in the family, could be at workplace, could be among friends. Maybe I'm really not the reason. I'm not the heart of the problem, but I end up being in the center where the problem is all happening around me. So the situation is becoming more and more chaotic. Am I feeling anxious? Do I feel like my heart is going lop, 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 it's beating fast because of anxious, or what's going to happen now? Am I, absorbing the energy of the environment, creating a sense of vulnerability in me? So if the situation is such, Baba says, pack up. Pack up means just whatever is happening, everyone is acting as per what they believe is right, what they believe needs to be done. And so everyone is acting out of their own choices. And so I am choosing not to take in their energy. I'm choosing not to take in their negativity and let them deal whatever they need to deal with. It's like, it's like packing myself to my center, bring Baba into the picture, say, okay, Baba, how should we do, how should we resolve this? Or again, ask myself, do I need to do something in that situation? Is it necessary? Do I need to be involved in the situation? If not, take a step back, right? So this is what I mean by don't panic. If I panic, I cannot find a solution. So these are, ways. Again, this is a training for me. You may have different ideas as well. Please do share. And so then this was the whole Murli, transforming labor into pleasure. So this is what I have churned with Baba. And does anyone else want to share what they have churned and what they have understood from the Murli? Opening the floor to you. Anyone? Okay. Oh, if there is no churning, then can I share something from? I just came back from Peace Village, New York. We had a teachers meeting with Morni Didi, and there were a lot of beautiful pointers. And this is our 90th year of our yagya, and there were a lot of pointers that she shared. It was a personal meeting. Do you think I should share that, or is there anyone wants to share something before I do so?
Yeah, sister, just one point I wanted to bring out that you mentioned about the soul conscious practice that, before we start any task, stabilizing ourselves in that soul conscious stage and then coming into that action. So that practice is very important. So we all know Brahma Baba also practiced this, right? So every time before he does any task, he used to stabilize himself in that soul conscious stage and then really feeling that it is the soul that using this instrument, the bodies, and then getting the task done. So um, I often try to practice that, but what happens sometimes I forget to forget stabilize that
Right.
consciousness. So
Right.
and sometimes when the karma becomes so serious, right? When we get to the karma world, or especially the day-to-day task in office. So when the task is more, then I feel like pushing this to the next hour. Okay, so let me just complete this
Right.
task
Right.
now and then come back to
Right.
the
Right.
practice. This is what
Yeah.
happens. I'm not sure how
You
to
just
conquer
spoke.
this.
You just spoke our mind, all of our mind. We all get pushed to the limit, brother. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am just trying to, no, I know that, we shouldn't be pushing, but somewhere I feel I'm forced to do that, and then, like I said, I forget. So I don't know what practices do you do to remind yourself this, and then always keep the practice moving forward.
Right. Okay. I can definitely share on that, but is there anyone else wants to share first what points touched them and how you want to practice those points? Anyone else? Okay. So, Pichitai, I think I will go ahead. Well, I don't know if it's going to be the right answer for you, but I will just share what I'm practicing and see if Baba touches you on that. So, I actually this month, in the beginning of this month, just came back from Malaysia visiting family, and because my mother, she's not doing well, she's having dementia, and she has some chronic pain in the body. So I went after 3 years. So the last I went was to do father's funeral. So after 3 years, I went to visit all of them. Usually I go once in 2 years, but I couldn't go last year. So went this year, and situation in Malaysia, it's very different. The environment in the house there, it's very different because my sister, she is divorced, and she has a daughter, 13-year-old. They both live with mom. So the three of them in one house. I didn't grow up in that house. They actually moved to that new house um, when I came to US, I guess 21 years ago. So it's been almost 22 years now since I started staying in Baba's house in LA. And the environment there is very different. They eat meat, there's alcohol, and a lot of things, a lot of messiness, a lot of things. I guess that's probably some Lockheed house, Lockheed house. Probably that's how things are. And for me, it's a day and night change because I coming from such a pure environment in Papa Center and then going there to stay with them for 2 weeks, uh, day and night different. And the energy, the atmosphere, everything was very different. But, I prepared myself mentally, physically, also whatever I needed to bring. So I brought with me. And I told my sister that while I'm there, no meat in the house. You cannot bring any meat in the house and no alcohol. If you agree to these terms, then I will come. So she said, okay. I said, if you want to eat outside, meat, go outside and eat. But in the house, I'm the only one who's cooking. And she said, definitely. So I have my own pots and pans. Everything of mine is separate. Kitchen towel, everything. So I keep it in a box and I put it in the storeroom. So when I go, I take it out and I use it, and no one else uses it. Then I put it back in before I leave. So this time, when I went in to see mom, I feel like she's grown way older than I saw her before. Not because of her age, but just her mental state. And I think that was expected. I sort of expected that's, the deterioration. But what I didn't anticipate, what I didn't expect was sisters. I actually went to clinic to get myself checked. So my sister said, "Oh, since you're going, then I will get myself checked too." So just, she was just tagging along. And when we went there and when they checked, that's when we found out she has breast cancer. And it was a big blow for her. It was a surprise for me. 3 years ago, when I went to Malaysia, she was having her initial pain on her chest. And I told her, get it checked. But, she's always afraid of hospitals. And she was in denial. So she didn't get it checked. And then after 3 years now, we went and got it checked. And they found there is a growth. So we did ultrasound, mammogram, and finally had to do biopsy. And during biopsy, they found there is two tumors. It has grown a bit big. So it was a big blow for her. And I realized why drama. Actually, I wanted to go towards the end of the year when things are a bit slow in the center. But something kept pushing me, go now, go now. So then I told Gita Ben, I have a very strong feeling to go now. So that's why I went in May, beginning of this month. And I guess drama took me for her, for sister. So it was very like how Bichit Pai said, we are forced to do things where sometimes we just don't have energy and we're tired or we've reached our limits and yet we have to continue. I think that was me because both mother and sister, their hospitals, the general hospital, government hospitals. I don't know how it is in India. I believe it could be the same as how it is in Malaysia. We would leave the house every day, 6:30 a.m., beat the traffic, reach there at 8 a.m. Then you have to take a number and you have to wait for your turn. And there's like almost 70, 80 people already in front of you. And then you meet the doctor. And then after that, you have to wait again, get your second appointment done. Then you come downstairs, take a number again for your medicine. Every day, the hospital trip, we leave at 6:30. We reach home 7:38 p.m. That's more than 12 hours. And for them, they don't have to worry about food because they eat outside anyways. It's I'm the one who have to worry about food. And because, sometimes I feel very tired in the morning, so I don't have the time to cook. So I just get fruits, biscuits, chips. And then when we come back at night, then I would shower and then I have to cook dinner for the whole family. So I felt very depleted. I felt physical exhaustion. And then mentally, when you're physically, your body is so tired, mentally, you just have no energy to think because I was doing everything at home, sending the little one to school, driving because sister was not doing so well. She was having so much pain. So I said, okay, why don't you rest? And she was doing multiple jobs just to earn money. So pick up, drop off, cooking, cleaning, and then, giving medication, just about everything for the 2 weeks. And when I was already ready to come back, to be honest. I was ready to come back, and they were like, "Oh, you just came. Can you not wait a little longer?" In my mind, I'm telling, "No, Baba, take me, take me." I said, "No, we have a lot of things happening in the center." But the main highlight of the retreat, my trip, was when I was there, a lot of childhood triggers, which I never knew I was holding, everything rushed out. Everything came out. All these childhood triggers that was in me. When I came back from Malaysia, I reached LA Monday night. I only had Tuesday one day. Wednesday, early morning, I had to fly to New York for the meeting. It's a 5 days meeting. So it's like I couldn't deal with jet lag. I had to just come, unpack bag, laundry, iron, pack, next day run again. Wednesday, 3 a.m. I had to go to the airport. When I was in Peace Village, I said, Baba, I'm having so much waste thoughts. All these triggers are coming out, Baba. Because I was in New York, I didn't have to do any physical task. I didn't have classes to give. I didn't have to deal with students. I said, Baba, these 5 days, I want you to heal me. I I would skip meals. Sometimes I would skip breakfast. I would skip dinner just so I can spend time in Baba's room. I did a lot of journaling. And that is when a lot of realizations came. You know, the memories that we hold about an incident or a person is not really accurate. It's what we are choosing to think. But in reality, the situation could be different. And I realized how much, the memories that I've carried, how much I had to change my understanding. And you may think I may probably have come from an easy childhood. To be honest, no. I came from a chaotic childhood. Chaotic in sense that both my parents had to, they had their own traumas. They had their own issues that they had to deal with, from their part of the families, from their childhood. And I was always alone in the house, growing up alone. And so, the child in me that wanted the attention, wanted the validation. Okay, if I did well in school, um, can I be praised? Can I be told, okay, you did a good job? That seemed to have missed. Parents were good providers. They were very loving. They did whatever they felt was right, but they will always work. They always worked. So I was always alone. I learned cooking when I was 7 years old, just so I could support myself. And because of that childhood, I was pushed to grow up very fast. Means I was pushed to become more mature at a very young age rather than to just chill and relax. But then I realize now the sense of independency that I learned, the sense of, to give, to take care, to take care of myself, to take care of people around me, to be a support, and to learn to be independent and not expect someone else to take care of me or my things. How much those skills have become so useful for me now, being in Baba's house. Here the centers are not like India. In India, you have multiple sisters in one center. Here, we just have one sister, just us in the center. And yes, we do have students. They come every day, they come and help. But at the end of the day, the administration, the classes, the accounting, the decision making, it's one sister who will have to do. And Gita Ben is always traveling, so then everything drama brings all the responsibility on me, the finance, the administration, decisions for 3 centers. But now I see how Baba and Drama prepared me well in advance from my childhood. So the moment I started seeing, it's like Baba is revealing to me, because of that childhood, because of that experiences, because of that skills that I developed, how much it's so applicable to me right now, being in the center. It really changed how I saw things. It really changed my entire belief system about childhood. I started feeling okay. I started seeing benefits in it. Maybe at that time I couldn't. Maybe at that time I was just yearning. But the independent skill have taught me, don't yearn. Feel whatever you need to feel in you. Don't expect. Clean your own mess. Make your decisions. I actually learned fall back on Baba at a very young age rather than to fall back on parents. And I felt so glad now when I look back. I said, Baba, I learned to grab you so hard. And I can see how that's become so useful to me now. Then I realized when I read this Murli, and I'm so glad Raki Ben gave me this Murli, because usually she would ask me, what Murli do you want to do? And then I will always tell her, Ben, what Murli do you think I should do? Why not do you suggest? So she suggested this Murli to me. And when I read it, it was so applicable to what I'm presently feeling. It's like a lot of that triggers in me just settled. So much got settled. When I was in Peace Village, so much realization, so much. It's like now the soul is at ease rather than holding on to something. And Baba said a Brahmin is one who is able to see benefits, not someone who is battling, trying to confront something. I said, Baba, for all these years, thank you for finally making me to realize and really live like a Brahmin, to see the benefits. So that is why I connected. Some Murlis we read, we churn, but some Murlis we connect as if we're seeing in a mirror. So this Murli was a mirror for me. I connected every sentence. I connected every message that Baba was saying because of what I was presently going through. So, Bijit Bhai, even though you are pushed to the limit, but then I'm telling you, sometime later, you sit back and you see yourself and you see everything that you've done and gone through. And you see, okay, Baba, what is it Drama wanted me to understand? What is it? What secret was Drama trying to tell me? You will be so surprised at how big your capacity is. And you may think you've pushed your limit, but your limit is very, very big. Maybe someone else wouldn't have been able to do what you could do. Right?
Yeah, sister, it's really amazing. I think the limit that we set is by ourselves, right? So if we set that mindset within us, then we are setting ourselves that limit. So Baba
Right.
doesn't like to see us setting that limit. So he would like to see us going beyond, breaking
Right.
all the limits. So
Absolutely.
I think everybody's
Absolutely.
life is, the challenges and the test paper comes to make them strong and, go beyond the limits. So
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think
And
that is why Baba says becoming Lakshmi Narayan is not like going to your Andy's home.
Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, there was this one sentence, Moini Ben, she said, do not try to find your worth in doingness, but learn you are already worthy in beingness. Means moving from a state of doing into a state of being. She said, do not try to find your worth, but you already are. You just need to be it. You don't need to discover, you don't need to find. You already are. You just emerge. By sharing, connecting to Baba. Sorry, one. And let me read. Connecting to Baba connects to oneself, absolutely. One's own awareness and unlimited power. There is so much depth, actually, if you realize there's so much depth in us. We just need to allow it to emerge. You don't need to create anything. That is what I really realized, that for some in my Brahmin life, I thought I always have to figure out or do or to prove, okay, ye karna hai, wo karna hai. But just sitting there in Baba's room, just not even doing anything, just sitting there, I realized, just in that being with Baba, allowing Baba to, tell me those answers, to make me to realize, I felt I'm already great without doing anything. Baba made me to experience and realize, you are already great. What are you trying to find your worth? What are you trying to prove? You already are. There's nothing to prove. You just need to realize it. And then, of course, not allowing the ego to step in, but that such level of humility that, thank you, Baba, for making me this. Thank you, Baba, for allowing me to see this picture, which I thought I had to create. I said, okay, Baba. So now let me be so proud of my upbringing. I became this way. I became, reliable for Baba, reliable for others because of the way I grew up. So really, seeing everything that you have encountered in your life, is like a pushing you, it's like a catalyst to make you great, to make you powerful. Find out what trigger you are still holding from your past, and then reconcile with it and understand that that trigger was necessary to push you to grow. And so then, thank you. Just say thank you to those people or the challenges or the triggers. Just say thank you for showing me who I am and what is in me. Okay, we are time's up.
Yeah, sure. So thank you so much for that wonderful insights. It really applicable. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. So we will just take a moment of silence and then we will part ways. Shanti. Have a beautiful day.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Vinuben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a blissful day.